Okay, so we created a first order homogeneous ordinary differential equations calculator. We worked together on this. We occasionally talked over Zoom to figure out who would do what, and then we communicate with each other when we were pushed and pulled, when we pushed new code that we created so that we can each have the most updated version of our app. For the interface, we just had it where there's 3 different text boxes, one for each um, coefficient of the ordinary differential equation, and then one for the integrating variable. And then we created a button to obviously calculate the function, and then a text box that either gives the answer or shows what the error was or if it didn't work or etc. And then for the button code, we we brought the calculate function out of that, and then we put the inputs for each coefficient and the independent integrating variable into a string, and then we use that string to plug into the function we created in order to actually run the code and solve the differential equation.
Okay, but we put it into a very specific function that we haven't gone over yet, the Wolfram result function. And that is basically using all these imports here needed that I got from downloading the jar file for accessing Wolfram Alpha API for Java. And we also had some occasional jar files recommended for network interface. So yeah, this basically creates an engine. I had to create an account to get an app ID in order for this API to connect to my account. And it basically dissects the Wolfram alpha result into pods and keeps sectioning it off into subpods and eventually into elements to get the answer that we need. And we put this all in the try catch to deal with different errors. And yes, this returns the answer in string. Problems we encountered. Well, the number one problem is just simply not working, and it has to do with the network. We're getting this error Android OS network on main thread exception. This has to do with Android applications that are using SDK that is higher than Gingerbread. Or that's what it says online. I've been trying to do many things such as add this use permission to make internet access easier, I moved all the code for the button that was originally on onCreate into this little function because the internet advised it to do so. Yeah, so that was the problem. And I mainly worked on accessing and getting the libraries and creating this function. And yeah, this was totally original. The main reason we did this was because we've heard of differentiating and integral calculators. We've heard of normal calculators, but this is truly original. I haven't seen anyone do this. Well, what do you want to do for the future? I know at least we want it to work.
Yeah. Yeah, getting it to work's definitely number one. That's what we want to do. And then after that, we definitely want to be able to do higher order equations or different other types of differential equations other than just homogeneous.